I appreciate you, man, but I want to make sure we get everybody. I know some people have to run today, so let's keep the party flowing and hear more awesome stories with Mark. What else? Anybody else got an awesome story?
I got a couple.
Want to share? Yeah.
Are we good? Who's good? Me?
Go ahead.
I'm good. All right, cool. What's up, guys? Hey, first off, Shani, Vince, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys putting this together. Nothing but immense love and respect for you guys on the space. It's an incredible turnout. I mean, you can always tell. There's the old saying in the home business space about you can tell you're the average of the 5 people that surround you. And if you look, like I'm looking at the screen right now and I see everybody that's up. You got Ann Seek, Bill and Michelle, you got Ray and Tim Sales and just Fernie and there are too many other people to name, Brendan, just so many different people that are here to support. I think that's probably the biggest indicator of what type of man that Mark is and what type of family the Hoversons are and Vince and just the people that surrounds him as far as being part of this group. That's kudos to Mark and the life that he's built so far. So I've got 3 real quick stories. I promise I'll keep them super quick. So I don't know, you guys know my story. I've been in the industry since 2003, coaching and training the home industry space. And I semi-retired for a little bit, took 2 years off to raise my youngest son. And when I left, a bunch of these new upstart young punks come up, and one of them was this Hoverson character. And when I come back in, I start looking around and looking at the space and who's in now. And I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot of really good people now that are around. Am I relevant? Am I needed in the space as much, as I perceived that I was before? So I really started to investigate and look around, and it was, Jay Budd and Mark Hoverson was the other guy that I wound up seeing. I'm like, wow, this guy's. And then when Mark spoke, it was just something that triggered in my brain that was like, wow, this guy. The word you guys are going to hear watching this is wisdom. Mark was very wise. Just the word wise is probably Mark's middle name. If he didn't officially change it, he should. Maybe have a license plate made up for him on his vehicle. That would probably be fitting. So anyways, it just struck out at me. So him and somebody else was doing a launch for something. It was like a product launch formula, I think is what he was doing, something like that. And so I hadn't met the guy, and one of my tactics at the time was to go put out a video that says, a review. Okay, but here's the one big problem with this product. And so I was an affiliate for it. I said, so, there's one big challenge that's wrong with this program. It's a great program, great stuff, but there's one fundamental flaw in it. And here's what it is. Teaser, they'd come in, they'd check it out. And the question that's in the mind is, okay, so what's the one flaw? So I'm at this event. Of course, I wound up winning top 10 in the affiliate contest, something like that. And I wound up being at a live event. I think it was either a No Excuses Summit or it was something. It was something we're all at. And the Hoverson walks by, and I'm like, hey, Mark, it's nice to meet you. My name's Greg. He says, yeah, oh, hey, I know who you are. It's nice to meet you. Congratulations on the launch. So thanks. And he's just walking away. He says, hey, what was that one thing that wasn't right about my product? I said, oh, well, it's great if you have a product and you go launch a product, but if you don't have an audience, what good does it do? So what I did for folks that came on board that bought through my affiliate link, I let them launch their product after approval to my list. And he just nodded and walked off. And I knew at that moment, though, as he was walking away, I'm like, okay, he either hates me or he thinks I'm an okay. That was pretty smart. We'll see. So we wound up connecting later on again. And fast forward a few years, I did my first live events, my first summits. I asked Mark to speak at those events, and he so graciously provided his wisdom to my team and the people that I have as part of my groups. And it was humbling to say the least. Anytime Mark speaks, anytime I'm at any place, now if you guys are, anybody watching this, part of the speaker circuit after a while, you go and see people speak and you kind of get, you know who they are. You get a feel for it. If I'm talking about sales, people know. It's great sales stuff, whatever. But when Mark spoke, it didn't matter what was going on, what I was doing. Even at my event live, I tell my team to shut up, and I just listened, because when he was on stage, whenever he spoke, no matter what the venue was, it could be an interpersonal with a cigar, it could be from stage, it could be a phone conversation, anything, any place at all. And he starts talking, there's just a hush that falls over the group that listens when he's speaking from his place of wisdom. And I think it's really one of the most powerful, engaging things that I've ever seen in a person, which is special about Mark, and I think is a really big indicator why there's so many people here. So my second quick story. First time I noticed that Mark was sick was we were at this at my first event, and Mark shows up and he'd lost a lot of weight, and I'm like, okay, something's up. My radar goes off. He gets on stage, he starts speaking, and actually, it was before he started speaking. He was talking to Vanessa Duplessis, one of our friends in common. She's my coaching director at the time, and she she was asking him, what's going on. And it wasn't the fact that he was talking to her about his weight loss. It was that he was justifying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And as soon as I heard what he was saying, I'm big on words. I heard, I'm sick. And that's not what he was saying, but that's what I heard. And I respected at that time, because I've heard from others that were close that he didn't want to be, that he didn't want that negativity of a dying person, if that makes sense. Even now, it's not about telling this person, hey, you're done. Now we've got a plan for the end. No, there's more to do. There's a lot more to do. There's still a lot more to do, and we're going to do it. That's part of what this group is for. And in that, I knew I had to check myself. And that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned, that I really wanted to appreciate Mark for and thank Mark for, is I'm not here to, when somebody's in that position, our responsibility isn't to go and start, already planning for the end so much as it is planning for the life that's left, if that makes sense. And for me, that made a huge impact, because it's not about just saying goodbye. It's about, okay, now what do we start? What do we work on? What do we complete? What do we start building towards for a better future, for a legacy, that I think really is the important part of what this is. So that's my second story about Mark. My third story, really my final one. He gave me a consultation. He came into my office one time. He was talking with us about stuff, and I said something to him about my business that I've done, and successful business at that point. He gave me some words of wisdom that were kind of like you're a dumbass, like, why aren't you doing this in your business kind of thing, and that sweet, friendly, coddling Mark Hoverson kind of way, which is still a kick to the teeth, but hey, it was a reality check for me. And it was like, yeah, why am I not doing that in my business? So my third story is, thanks, Mark. I'm actually implementing that process in our business now. It's taken us a little longer than I wanted to, but I'm very appreciative for everything you've done for me, and just all the opportunities and the abilities to be able to hang out with you as much as I have, and you, Shani. And again, thanks, Vince. That's it for me, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Greg, thank you so much. I have to say, I love you personally, because you've always been good to me whenever it's either at Mark's conference or your conference. You're always bragging on me and edifying me. And so that I appreciate that about you.